The Lost Pyramid of Djedefre, Egypt's forgotten monument. In the vast deserts of Egypt, where golden sands stretch as far as the eye can see and the sun bakes the earth beneath its scorching rays, stands the timeless plateau of Giza. The Great Pyramids dominate the skyline, massive and eternal, symbols of an ancient civilization's grandeur and ingenuity. Yet, far removed from these towering wonders, lies a far lesser-known relic of Egypt's past, a forgotten pyramid, nearly erased from history, known as the Pyramid of Djedefre. This story is not just one of stone and sand. It is the story of a young and ambitious pharaoh, Djedefre, who sought to carve out a legacy that would eclipse even that of his famous father, Khufu, the builder of the Great Pyramid. Djedefre's monument is lost to the ages, a ruined pyramid that few have heard of, buried in the sands of Abu Rawash, about 8 kilometers from the more famous Giza pyramids. But in the lost Pyramid of Djedefre, hidden stories of betrayal, ambition, and mystery still linger. Djedefre was not born into the expectation of kingship. He was one of several sons of Pharaoh Khufu, the great king who ruled Egypt during the 4th dynasty, around 2566 BCE. Khufu's legacy was enormous, both figuratively and literally, as his construction of the Great Pyramid at Giza would become one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Djedefre's older brother, Khawab, was the expected heir. However, Khawab's mysterious and untimely death thrust Djedefre into a position he may not have anticipated, succeeding his father as the Pharaoh of Egypt. Some believe that Djedefre's ascension to the throne was not entirely peaceful. Rumors in ancient texts suggest the possibility of internal strife, even conspiracy. Did Djedefre have a hand in Khawab's death, or was he simply swept into the power struggle that often accompanied royal succession in ancient Egypt? These questions have long been debated by historians, and although no solid proof exists, the tensions at the time of Djedefre's rise were palpable. The construction of pyramids had been evolving over generations in Egypt. Each pharaoh sought to build his own pyramid, not only as a tomb but as a symbol of his divinity and power. But Djedefre, unlike his predecessors, made a decision that would change his legacy. He chose not to build his pyramid on the Giza Plateau alongside his father's Great Pyramid and his predecessor's structures. Instead, he selected a remote site at Abu Rawash, an area high above the Nile Valley with sweeping views of the land. This decision has puzzled historians for centuries. Why did Djedefre turn his back on Giza, the symbolic heart of Egyptian power? Some suggest that Djedefre wanted to escape the shadow of his father's towering monument and create something entirely his own, a structure that would not be compared to Khufu's Great Pyramid. Others believe that the site at Abu Rawash held religious or spiritual significance to Djedefre, who had strong ties to the sun god Ra. Yet, despite Djedefre's grand ambitions, his pyramid did not stand the test of time. Today, it is little more than a heap of rubble, with only its base and a few scattered stones remaining. How could such a magnificent structure have disappeared almost completely from the landscape? There are several theories. Some suggest that the pyramid was never finished, abandoned halfway through construction when Djedefre died unexpectedly. Others argue that his successors, particularly his half-brother Khafre, who would build the second Great Pyramid at Giza, had a deep-seated rivalry with Djedefre and may have ordered his pyramid to be dismantled. Evidence shows that Djedefre's name was removed from certain monuments, indicating that his legacy may have been intentionally erased. Perhaps the most tantalizing mystery surrounding Djedefre is his potential link to the Great Sphinx of Giza. Conventional history credits Djedefre's brother Khafre with commissioning the Sphinx, but some historians have suggested that Djedefre may have been its true creator. The evidence lies in Djedefre's devotion to his father, Khufu. It is possible that the Sphinx, with its lion body and human face, was originally intended to be a monument honoring Khufu, rather than Khafre. If this theory holds, it could mean that Djedefre built the Sphinx as a symbolic guardian of his father's pyramid, ensuring Khufu's protection in the afterlife. The Sphinx, with its enigmatic gaze and imposing presence, would have been the ultimate expression of filial piety, an enduring symbol of Djedefre's loyalty and respect for Khufu. Djedefre's actual burial site remains a mystery. His pyramid at Abu Rawash does not appear to have served as his final resting place. Unlike his father's grand burial chamber in the Great Pyramid, Djedefre's tomb has eluded archaeologists. Some speculate that his body may have been moved or buried in a hidden location within the ruins of his unfinished pyramid. This absence of a definitive burial site has only deepened the mystery surrounding Djedefre's reign. How could a pharaoh who sought such grandeur, whose pyramid would have rivaled the greatest monuments of Egypt, vanish so completely from the historical record? For centuries, the pyramid of Djedefre lay forgotten, hidden beneath layers of sand and neglect. It wasn't until the late 19th and early 20th centuries that archaeologists began to uncover the ruins and piece together the story of Djedefre's lost monument. Today, Abu Rawash is still an active archaeological site, with researchers continuing to study the remains in hopes of learning more about Djedefre's reign and the pyramid's construction. Recent excavations have uncovered fragments of polished casing stones, pieces of ancient inscriptions, and clues to the layout of the pyramid complex. Though it may never be fully restored, these discoveries have shed new light on the lost grandeur of Djedefre's pyramid and the innovations he introduced in pyramid construction.